We are back and we're in a different location.
Yeah, that's obvious, because
And I got a haircut.
And I'm wearing different clothes with a completely unrelated topic.
And I'm wearing the same exact clothes I wore in the last video. Very awkward to start with. But okay, so now... Rainbow Rocks.
This is going to be interesting because, well, for starters, I thought it was a great sequel to Equestria, to the average Equestria Girls movie.
I thought it was good compared to the first movie. It's definitely better than the first movie, but I have problems with it. Major ones that we'll be discussing very soon. And it's weird because for some reason it's somehow awkward. I think the first movie's decent, but for some reason I can at least watch it without feeling pain. This is a sequel that is better than the first movie, but somehow I have deep pain for it. Pain. Like, I just like to pull my hair out every time I see this.
Really?
I'm not kidding. I do.
Okay. Would you kindly explain why?
Okay. First off, let's start at the beginning when this movie came out. And I feel like now, remember how I said in the first movie felt like something out of, like, you know, feels kind of like the same what happened to the SpongeBob movie? This sequel feels the exact same way as the TMNT movies, the live action ones, because it came 1 year after this movie. So, okay, after that movie happened, the 4th season happened, which was, to me, I feel, in a way, is a good season.
Wait, hold on. Okay, because after the 4th season came Rainbow Rocks.
Yes. So, what happened was that this movie came 1 year after the first movie, and this was at the time when the 4th season was hit. And so with the 4th season, I thought...
After the 4th season.
Yeah, after the 4th season. So to explain, the 4th season was good in everyone's respect, obviously. People think it's one of the best seasons of the show.
Because it is.
I personally think it's fine. It's not one of my favorites. I can't find really any memorable episodes besides the Mod Pie episode for me. That's how I am. I mean, like I said, I know people love this season. I don't hate it. I just don't think it's one of the best in my regards. That has to be for the 5th season for me.
I mean, the 5th season was great in the first half, but kind of went downhill in the second half.
It was more hit or miss.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Both hit and miss.
Hit and miss episodes. So after the 4th season, the announcement of Rainbow Rocks happened, and when I heard about it, I wanted to be in denial, and complete in denial, because literally this could have just been a little experiment they did and just ended with it. Nope. Somehow the first movie got really popular, and a lot of people saw it, that they had enough money to make a sequel. And what really is a pain for me is that from what I understand, I looked at the background of when this movie was made. This was made in under 3 months. And Megan McCarthy was working on it fully for 3 months.
Under 3 months. Doesn't animation take much longer than that?
I don't know what happened, but I was looking up this information. Like, I literally looked up detail and detail, but from what I understand, this movie was made under 3 months in progression when they were making it. I think it was I don't think it was the animation, but through story, voice acting, and everything else, that's what it was. And Megan McCarthy said she was working hard on this. Though I think the director, Jason Theisnes, I think his name is?
I think it's pronounced Thyssen.
Jason Thyssen or something was the director of this movie. So both of them worked with each other in making this film. So yeah, and then when it was finally announced, like, like I said, I was being in denial, but eventually it was true. And I can tell you that this movie had a lot of promotion going for it. Not only were there toys, but there were posters. I remember seeing the commercials for it on TV, even not on just like what was the hub at the time. There was like commercials for it that was going on through almost every kids channel. And yeah, I saw a lot of posters in the theater. Like, it was just, I couldn't take it. I could not take it at all. And one of the cherry on top of this was that Hasbro decided to release these little shorts in preparations for the movie.
I quite enjoyed the shorts.
Actually, that's a one thing. I actually found the shorts better than the movie, to be personally. And you know what? When I really think about it, Equestria Girls should just be shorts. They shouldn't be these long movies that obviously no one's demanding. Like, seriously, I don't remember anyone demanding a sequel after this first movie. And knowing that the sequel was not, the first movie wasn't that great, I actually believe that a bunch of people thought this was going to suck at the moment.
Like you.
Yes. So,
personally, I mean, I wasn't optimistic about it, but hey, I went to go see it in theaters. You know, I took my sister to see it as a birthday present, and we both liked it.
I'm just gonna say I just saw it. That's it. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I know you didn't bother seeing it, but you saw it eventually.
Yeah. Like I said, let's leave it at that. So yeah, we saw this, and here's the thing. The first time I saw it, I actually fell in love with it. I fell in love with it like everyone else did. I pretty much loved every moment of it. Sunset Shimmer was the best character in this movie. By no doubt. She is literally covers this movie with her great character arc and her performance. Rebecca Schultz's performance is amazing.
Not Schultz, Shoichet.
Shoichet? Shoichet. Shoichet. So I'm just gonna call her Rebecca. Like, Rebecca's performance in this movie is, like, great. She does an amazing job being Sunset Shimmer. And the way I don't know what kind of dialogue they decided to give her, but what she did with that dialogue was perfection to me.
Actually, when Sunset Shimmer reformed at the end of the first movie, it was pretty rushed.
Yep.
But this movie more than made up for it, because again, she was given her own character arc, and she was like the most compelling of the main characters in that movie.
It should just be her movie. It should be titled Sunset Shimmer the Movie, because that's what it should have been than what we got. Because here's the thing. Okay, so let's begin with the beginning. For some reason, like I said, there's some kind of timeline issue with this film.
Timeline issue?
Yeah. Okay, let me explain this. For some reason, people say, and I think the creators say, that Equestria Girls' timeline is a little different compared to the Pony timeline. Because for some reason, this movie takes place like 6 months after the first movie.
6 months?
Like 6 or few weeks or something, I don't know. Like either few weeks or a few months. And this is supposed to take place after after the 4th season.
Okay, remember, interdimensional travel is, complicated.
Yeah.
Because, you've seen Sonic X, right?
Yeah.
Okay, remember how, Chris Thorndike, it had been 6 years since Sonic and friends went back to their dimension. When he finally traveled back when he finally traveled to Sonic's world,
I saw that.
only 6 months had passed, whereas 6 years passed in Chris's world.
Yeah.
I see it like that.
You might as well just say, but like I said, I don't think there's any continuity. Like I said, these movies have no connections with the show, though it is canon in a way. But in Twilight's perspective, we can just say that. But like I said, there's different timelines between the dimensions and the worlds, and this is where I think people's head blew up when they found this out, because supposedly, like, I don't know if they put it in the opening, but somehow they say like 2 weeks later or a few months later. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Like, yeah, but you're supposedly supposed to think that, remember. Because at the beginning of the movie, we see the new villains, the Dazzlings, find out about the magic in the Canterlot High, so they decide to enter into the school. And supposedly the school's having this kind of rock-like band back concert. It was going to be first a concert, and then later on the Dazzlings made it into a battle of the bands kind of thing. So we see Sunset and the rest of the Sunset Shimmer and the rest of the main six literally work on each other on a poster. So then she tries to help out, like the Cutie Mark Crusaders, or as I like to call them, the Cameo Crusaders, with their banner. But they'd said no thanks, and everyone's like giving them like Sunset this weird look, like
Yeah, it's supposed to establish how Sunset Shimmer hasn't been forgiven for her actions in the previous movie.
For some weird reason.
Hey, when
I mean,
okay.
I understand what she did, but like, in a way, like, you really think about it, it was actually kind of cool. I mean, they were being turned into zombies. How cool as you would be as a zombie. I mean, I would definitely, like, think about it for a moment, but I'm just like, if she hasn't done anything for a long time, might as well just forgive her.
No, like think of this. Someone committed a crime. It's hard to forget. It's hard to forgive that person for said crime.
I understand completely. I mean, I at least understood that point, but I'm going to get to another point with these people. I understood that, it was taking them time to just get over it, and Celestia didn't make it any better as soon as she she mentions it again.
Yeah, there's like this running thing where Sunset Shimmer keeps being reminded of her actions in the previous movie. I think you can make a drinking game out of that.
You would die.
Nah, I mean they've only done like 3 or 4 times, so.
I'm not kidding. It's like almost the Stephen King drinking game.
I mean, I don't drink.
I don't either. But like, okay, well, you would get sugar high, because imagine if you did this with like soda. You'd be filling yourself with sugar all the time if that was the possibility.
That's not how drinking games work. It's supposed to be like for alcoholics.
I see. So, okay, so continuing on. So we see we see them just going through the gym, and then Celestia makes her announcement of the concert that's going on. And yeah, as soon as she mentions Sunset Shimmer's incident, everyone starts giving her the dirty look. Like, what? I don't know. I don't get it personally for me. So when she does, we get to the point where the Dazzlings come in. Like these new students, I forget each of their names.
Okay, the leader is Adagio. The gloomy one is Aria, who's never named, by the way, except in the credits. And the ditzy one is Sonata.
I thought it was Sonata.
Sonata.
So it's
they're named after musical terms.
So it's pronounced Sonata. And let me get this out of the way about Sonata. There's this one scene in the movie where she says, "It's Taco Tuesday," well, for one thing, I think a parody of CinemaSins did this, where even though it's Taco Tuesday, we don't see anyone in the lunchroom having tacos. So.
I think the animators overlooked that part.
Yeah. So the major problem I have with this is that this became a huge meme as soon as that happened.
Hey, don't let memes affect the quality of the show.
Yeah, but this character is just known for loving tacos, and
also for being ditzy.
For being ditzy, yeah. But actually, if you look really deeply to this character, you can see that there's more to her than what it is. You can see that she's being a guinea pig towards these characters. Actually, when you really think about it, she feels that, when you really think about it, she doesn't feel like she wants to hurt people. Because, I don't know, she obviously doesn't, she mostly smiles like Pinkie Pie, and she doesn't really, like, when she listens to her commands, she kinda does. But, when you, like, I feel like she's being taken. And to make this even more confusing, there's even a card where she's in pony form.
There's a what?
There's somehow a card game of this series, and there's somehow a card of her with Sunset being a pony, and so I'm guessing they're going on to a bit, like they're trying to connect this to the show somehow. But I think I'm looking over this. I think this was just made for the fandom, just in my personal opinion. But I feel like they're going somewhere with this. So, getting that out of the way, like, ever since this movie came out, that Taco Tuesday thing has been going on for, like, ever.
Okay, that really shouldn't be a surprise. The Brony fandom will make a meme out of anything in the show, even if it's relatively minor.
Yes. They make...
I mean, they turned Derpy Hooves into an ensemble dark horse, all because of this animation goof in the first episode.
And they made Pinkie Pie into a kind of Jack Nicholson killer.
What?
Because of her incident in Party of One. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know that.
You haven't seen the videos, haven't you?
I'm well aware of cupcakes.
Yeah.
The less of the better.
The less we talk about that, the better. But, like, they made her into a very freaky character. Heck, there's even a point where, like, Fluttershy is... There's even a meme ever since Do Princess Dream of Magic Sheep where Fluttershy is being put out as this abusive animal lover. You don't want to know.
Okay.
Okay, so now going, like I said, this has been going on for so long. There's even one where there's actually her being a Taco Bell mascot. I fight people on Twitter towards this. Every time they mention Taco Tuesday, I literally try to make sure this ends soon. So now going back, so what happens is the Dazzlings know about the concert thing, so what they try to do is try to make everyone hate each other because they somehow have this amulet to manipulate people. And this is where the movie really goes downhill for me.
Oh dear.
Yes. Because hypnotism. Hypnotism can be done well in a plot. I can give it that. It can be done well in a plot in certain ways where I feel it's very good. I know a lot of shows that have done this cliche before, but it's done perfectly well in those shows. But in this movie, it just felt like a horrible idea. I mean, here's my gripe. These were the, like, when I watched the first movie, and the one scene that really I loved was the scene where they were helping the main characters try to fix up the gym. And the way they do it in a way that's so, like, wonderful and nice, and I just found these to be very cool people. Like, wow, these people are very nice. These people are very cool. I mean, I've never really seen that much in my high school, so, like, I just found it really nice that these people were willing to help out some mistakes, even though they found differently of Twilight during the first movie. But knowing that now they're being manipulated and hypnotized just to hate each other, it just makes it very mean-spirited.
Okay, look. They're out of character because they're being hypnotized.
Yeah, so, but it's just like, it feels like a Deus Machina, a cliche.
Okay, look. A Deus Ex Machina is a solution that comes right out of nowhere without being built up. So you're using that term incorrectly.
Yeah, okay. It's just there for a plot device. How's that?
I think so.
Yeah. Like, the way they're just hypnotizing for them just to be mean feels like just a very quick plot device just to get it moving.
Hey, hey, there has to be conflict, otherwise it wouldn't be interesting.
I understand there has to be conflict, but the way they do it doesn't really... It doesn't make them like you feel like they're being controlled. Okay, let's not take... Okay, enough about what I just said. So yeah, the rest of the movie, so continuing on, the rest of the movie is about the main six are not controlled for some reason because of magic.
Yeah, equestrian magic. I mean, they're not going to be affected that easily. So those sirens actually come up with a much more brilliant plan to turn them against each other, you know, by using the other students to mess things up for them.
Yep. So while that happens, we see Twilight pretty much interact with the rest of the main six by having a slumber party. And so yeah, there's a slumber party, and then we get probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I mean, I really love that scene, the interaction between Twilight and Sunset Shimmer. And of course we get to Boulder is hungry.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, that scene with Twilight and Sunset was added in at the last minute, according to the film crew.
That's great. That's really great. So, then we get to the Battle of the Bands, and then we get to Shake Your Tail, which, it's a good song. It's a good song. I like it.
Shake your tail, 'cause we're here to have a party tonight.
Then we get into the scene where I think the Dazzlings go on, and this is probably the only song where I actually felt like the Dazzling was wonderful. Like, the Dazzling were wonderful, because the last song I didn't like, I actually like this song, because I don't know, it just has this atmosphere. It has this atmosphere towards it.
I mean, it's very sinister in tone. Like, you know, the stakes are going higher up the more it goes.
You know how, like, you know, people like Be Prepared? Well, you know how to bronies and other fans, it's the Battle of the Bands is their Be Prepared. Well, my Be Prepared is Under Our Spell. I can go with that. So of course then of course they're up and they do a good job, and then the rest of the bands are eliminated and they end up
I love how it's animated to have the one band member, one band blow this other team away with their music. It's just impressive as heck.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. That was actually really cool. So yeah, we get to the point where I think around where their deciding point where now the Rainbooms and the Dazzlings are facing against each other. Oh, that was my phone, but so they try to face off each other, but then of course Trixie and her band come in and somehow use a trap door, and they end up, you know, under the stage.
Yeah, it was like the final stage in the Dazzlings' plan to feed off their anger.
Yes, and so the Dazzling finally are on stage, and of course then downstairs, like, the main six are fighting each other, and yeah, then Sunset Shimmer gives this very emotional speech, and that just brings them all together. And we get Vinyl Scratch. My gosh, I love her. Gosh, I love her. Like, and then she somehow has her car transform into...
I think they call it a bass cannon.
A bass cannon. I don't know, I guess she knows Bruce Wayne for some reason. And then they have this wonderful last minute. The climax of this movie is amazing.
Yes, I mean everything from the vocals to the visuals to the actual music
to Ponyzilla.
Yeah. To a spirit alicorn zapping the Dazzlings and destroying their amulets.
I can just see Mechagodzilla in that fight for some reason.
But for what reason?
I don't know, just to have him there. Also, I found that Rebecca did an amazing voice trying to... Some people have argued that knowing she's playing both Twilight and Sunset with the same vocals and singing voice, it's a little distracting, but I feel like she did a good job.
Yeah, I think she did a decent job distinguishing the two vocals.
So, like I said, great. It's great to see that scene. It's an amazing scene. But I feel like it's not as amazing compared to the third movie, the climax.
Really? Okay, I think I'll go into more detail on the next part, but I thought Rainbow Rocks had a much more climactic battle than any of the two other films combined.
We'll see what happens in the third. Okay, so yeah, they saved the day, and by the end of the movie, Pinkie Pie says 1, 2, 3, and then they play "Shine Like Rainbows."
Shine like rainbows.
My favorite song out of the whole movie.
I think it's my second favorite.
Yeah, you like it's Battle of the Bands, I guess.
Yeah. You cannot beat villain songs.
I understand that, but "Shine Like Rainbows" is so uplifting. It is.
Yeah, I know. I feel that too.
And of course, for some reason, there's fan art by the end credits. I guess Hasbro recognizes the Brony fandom.
Hey, it's good fan art.
It is very good fan art. I love the fan art, but it's a little weird, I guess, to see that in a motion picture. I mean, there really isn't much fandom towards other movies that has fan art that somehow shows in actual movies.
I can't recall.
So, but then of course, we probably get, to me personally, is a middle finger to audiences poking that, oh, we're going to have another movie, here's a scene for you.
Chris, a middle finger means you can go to heck.
Yeah, but like that's how it is. Like that last scene where there's another Twilight, we're building this up to the next movie. It's just because
it was slightly foreshadowed near the beginning.
Yeah, but like the idea is, do you want this to be a standalone movie, or do you want this to just feel like a sequel to another film?
No, but it is a good movie to stand on its own.
Obviously, if you discount the last scene,
at least in terms of being a fan of My Little Pony, because I don't think non-fans will get a kick out of this.
Yeah. Well, actually, they do. A lot of critics like this movie.
Yeah.
So okay. Final thoughts.
I mean, Batman vs Superman felt like a commercial to future movies more than this one.
We can agree with that, but let's wait for Civil War. That's going to be better. So, like I said, final thoughts. To me, it is better than the first movie, but I have issues with this film that just gets me angry. It just gets me really angry, but the one thing, okay, my positives are I love the songs, except for the Battle of the Bands one.
Oh, you're just asking for a flame war.
Send your hate mail if you want. I will be here. And like I said, the animation is good, actually, compared to the first movie. A little better, I feel like. I love the music. I love Sunset Shimmer's arc. She's the best out of the whole movie. And the final scene is amazing. But like I said, I felt it was very mean-spirited throughout most of the movie. It felt dark to me. And the Dazzlings, while they're good, they feel really one-dimensional.
Yeah, that's one thing I can agree with you on. I cannot name at least 3 character traits off of them. Again,
but not besides Sonata, like I said. Sonata for Taco Tuesday. That's the only thing I can remember.
Okay. Here's one character trait for each of them. As I said before, Sonata is sinister. No. Sonata is ditzy. Aria is gloomy.
Cool.
Adagio is sinister.
I guess. Well, like I said, they're very one-dimensional. Flash Sentry gets nothing out of this movie.
Yeah,
I don't even know why he's here.
Yeah, he's still pretty flat.
Yes, even in the next movie. So no matter what, this character will always be bland. It's such a shame because Vincent Tong, I've seen him in other stuff, and he's very good.
He's going to be in the Ratchet and Clank movie.
Yeah. And he's probably going to do a better job compared to what he is. Like I said,
it's just the way his character's written. That's
like I said, Vincent Tong is great as other characters, but for Flash Sentry, dude, I think you're going to have to give this role to someone else because you want to be in better stuff, like I said. So like I said, I like them. I would say that I have a between. Like I'm in the middle between this movie. I'm glad I saw it, but I cannot just get the overempower anger. I also felt that the main six were useless. If you remove them from the movie, nothing would really change because it's mostly Sunset Shimmer's movie. So yeah. Yours?
I think it's an excellent sequel. I like Sunset Shimmer's story arc. I love the songs. And I thought it had the best climax out of any Equestria Girls movie.
And so yes. So that's our thoughts on Rainbow Rocks. Please send all of your love mail to him, and please send all of your hate mail to me.
Okay. You should be hanged.
Maybe. I should. Why? So I have a different opinion. No one liked me when I did my top 10 list of worst episodes. I'm still pointing out that Twilight Kingdom is not that great, okay? Sorry.
Well, I guess we'll see you guys
in
the next part.
Friendship Games, and I love this movie so much. I can't wait to talk about it. Though some people have issues with it.
It's a very divisive sequel, but we'll get into more detail on that.
So, shall we... Oh, wait, hold on. I think Oh yeah, remember from the last part how I said I would kind of explain what really happened during the beginning of our first part?
Yeah. I showed him Showstoppers. He scared me.
What happened, okay, here it is. What happened is he was showing me Showstoppers and we were like a little separate from each other. So I'm like right over here and here's what happened. Like I'm like over here and he's like, we're watching the episode and his face is probably like happy or something while my face was like this.
Keep it brief. And then he attacked me.
And so at the moment when they were singing that awful song, I just did this. Why on earth are we watching this? And then he decided to go to the other side of the room. Unexpectedly.
Yeah, if by some chance you're watching Showstoppers with him, don't.
You'll regret it. I just hate that episode that much. But don't worry, at some point maybe he'll show me his worst episode and he can pretty much get it back at me.
There's not really an episode that really ticked me off.
Okay. So yeah, take care guys, and yeah.
Yeah, CJF94 signing out.
And Black Belt Dragon signing out.
Bye.